Hi, Facebook friends. It's Helen Archontou here, CEO of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. Happy Thursday. If you are in Northern New Jersey, it is a sunny, beautiful day out there. So we hope that you are enjoying a little bit vitamin D, from that.
Yes,
Today, we've got something special for you. We've got some vitamin M.
I
Um,
love it.
so you sit back, get comfy in your chair, and prepare for a great conversation. As those of you who are regulars on YWTV know that on Thursdays we share the mic now with Black women in our community to amplify their voices. It's been my absolute privilege and honor to speak to hundreds of women in our community. And with each week, I get to add another great conversation to the mix. And I'm so excited today to be talking with Kerry Croft. Um,
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, Helen.
so, welcome, Kerry. Before we jump in, I want to tell everybody a little bit about you. Kerry was born in Kingston, Jamaica, but she was raised in the South, in Richmond, Virginia. She received her BA in fashion merchandising and has been working in the corporate fashion world as a senior merchandiser for Lanier Clothes, developing Kenneth Cole's Reaction men's tailor suiting for over 13 years. We all see your work out there. We know how famous that line is. Um, Using her keen eye for detail and merchandising background, she also wanted to branch out and start her own business. And that really expressed her love for community. She also wanted to create not only an awareness for her customer base, but also a new way to help them shop and come up with product lines and at the same time support Black entrepreneurs. As you know, we love supporting Black entrepreneurs with our whole Eureka platform that we have um, going right now, too. So, this is a great opportunity for those of you that are part of our Eureka um, program, too, to be taking notes from someone who's got some great information for you. Because of Kerry's commitment to provide a platform for Black entrepreneurs and to elevate their brand, she now has developed Vitamin M as a total brand. Vitamin M is a space dedicated to curating multiple platforms that allow you to bring visibility to Black owned brands in all industries on a global level. She is dedicated to making a lasting difference and consistently innovating the talent discovery experience. And your friends are booming already. We've got
Ah,
Claudia, we've got Khadijah, and
yay.
and Kerry also is part of another network that we love at the YW, the Mocha Moms, and she's
Yes. Hi,
uh,
mochas.
and now so you're part of the Middlesex Mocha
I'm
Moms.
both
You're both.
Middlesex and Bergen County because
Got it.
I was living in Bergen County, Edgewater, and then moved down here to Piscataway.
All right. So you put in some miles, but
Yes.
you've got a good broad. So so many places to start, but let's start by talking about Vitamin M Box because
Yes.
then we can go back and go forward from there. But let's talk about it's so exciting. Tell us about this initiative that you're so
Thank
focused on right
you.
now.
Thank you. Well, I started the Vitamin M Box 4.5 years ago in 2017. I wanted to create a platform to bring visibility to Black owned businesses, but also shine a positive light on us. I got so tired of the negative stereotypes that are garnered towards Black owned
Mhm.
businesses. And I myself know who's been a consistent patron of our businesses knew that that wasn't true.
Mhm.
So I wanted to figure out a way to shine a positive highlight and to introduce these brands that I have been using for a long time to the marketplace. And so for a while, I was going back and forth on how I wanted to do it, whether it was going to be a website. I was like, oh, I don't have the money or the bandwidth or the time to do it because at that time I was working 9 to 5.
Mhm.
So I got with my best friend in LA who owns a marketing firm. And at that point, subscription boxes were booming and it was the big box brands. And there were only a few catered to us, but it was very niche. So where there's the curl box for our hair, right? And then there were some beauty boxes. I wanted to find a way to highlight products in different industries amongst Black owned businesses. And so we came up with vitamin M, M standing for all things melanin. And I have to say that because some people think I have a box of vitamins. Um, Not a box of vitamins, but I do give you that dose of melanin that's good for your soul. And that's what we like to say. So that's where vitamin M comes from. And so it's been a great experience. I've developed some beautiful relationships during this journey. And the feedback and the response from my subscribers and just from other entrepreneurs as well has been very positive and beautiful.
So what kind of, for those, and so folks, you can follow the vitamin M. You can, there, you're on Instagram, you're on
yes,
Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook, both the vitamin M. Yes.
Yes. So you can follow to get more details as you're learning. And also the website is the vitaminmbox.com, which we have the link for you here so that you can go right to it. But tell us a little bit, once we follow you, we'll know more, but tell us a little bit for those that are new to the Vitamin M box, what might be in your box? Like what were some of your favorite boxes that you created?
Yes. So every month I make sure to curate the box with different items because with subscription boxes, it's easy to feel like you're hoarding, right? So I know that's a lot of pushback on subscription boxes because you start to subscribe and then you're getting all the stuff and you're not going through the boxes quick enough. So while one box might be body butter and face cream, you're not going to get that until another few months from then because I want you to be able to get through your products, right? Yeah. And then actually go to the brand. So it's very intentional to direct my subscribers back to the business. So that's why on our website, we have a brands page where you can go back to the businesses. And I make sure to highlight the entrepreneurs. So the tagline in the Vitamin M box is build our communities, support our businesses, and tell our stories. Because our stories and our journey is so important, just as important as the actual product. And you get to learn about the entrepreneur and the business and have more of appreciation for that product that you purchase. So I like to say, I like to curate this experience for you. We also give back. So when I decided to do the Vitamin M box, I wanted to pour back into our community. So every quarter, I donate a portion of the proceeds to a charity or a nonprofit that aids in empowering, uplifting, and building the Black and Brown community.
Well, there's nothing bad in what you said there. I mean, community lifting together,
right?
Sharing stories. You talked about, doing it in a smart way, which a lot of these boxes don't. Like you said, I have, from some of my beauty boxes, I have more mascara than I know what to do with. And, I'm not someone who historically uses mascara. So when I tell you I have a shoe box full of it, so I love that you intentionally, space out what comes because you know what you're going to get, you're really going to use.
So and I'm so sorry to back to your question. Like in a month, you can get a beauty product and you can get a book or you can get a piece of art or jewelry. So it's in that box, you're going to get a feel for different industries for sure.
That's wonderful. So I want to go back to something you said, which is really so much really what our Share the Mic Now program is about. It's about telling stories. It's about telling the stories.
Yes.
And that's why, to me, this is a very sacred space on Thursdays that we have and, share these stories because I've learned so much, in my quest to want to be, an accomplice and really support, racial equality and, really impact systemic racism and break it down. And I've learned so much just from my conversations. So tell me some of the stories that you're sharing through Vitamin M. Like what are some of the ones that really stand out for you that you thought I really want to amplify this because this is so important? I'm sure they're all important, by the way.
Well, a lot of them are really the entrepreneur specific journeys, right? So you can tell when you're highlighting these stories, the story behind why they started the brand. So if it's a beauty product, let's say somebody had a condition, whether it was an illness or a skin condition, and they say, I really just made this for me and my family at home. And a friend started using it and it worked for them. And then they started spreading the news and then their business is just blossoming. One story that comes to mind is I actually one of my first collaborations was with Shantae Lundy. She is the founder of Black Girl Sunscreen. And so within my first year, I found this sunscreen. Her name drew my attention. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this? Because there is a narrative around us sometimes where we feel like we don't need that much sunblock or sunscreen, right? Because our skin is full of melanin, and that's just not true, right? We still need to protect our skin from the sun. And so I loved her because when I first emailed her, she was like, can we get on the phone? I want to talk to you. Like, I want to feel your energy. I want to vibe. And we got on the phone. We talked for a long time. And then she explained why she started Black Girl Sunscreen. And it's the same kind of thing with vitamin M. We wanted to dispel this myth, right, out there that we don't need sunscreen or we don't need that much SPF or sunblock. And to watch her brand now become this huge, I mean, she has billboards in LA, to become this huge household brand and to see it grow and blossom is just a beautiful thing. So I love the talent discovery part of the box with the storytelling.
That's great. Sorry, I've got a train coming by.
Oh, that's totally okay.
Right as we're talking, of course. But I think the train, the hoo-hoo is the excitement, quite frankly, for what you're saying. Because,
Yeah,
I right on point. It's so wonderful to hear, though, that you are really able to live your whole mission of your business, and at the same time lift up all these really important, you're educating the Black community and the rest of us, right?
Yes.
About these important facts, because I've heard that myth as well, that Black women don't need sunscreen, and
right.
We know that it's a myth. We know that
Right.
there's danger, so finding this product that really helps educate is
Yes.
wonderful. So I know, because of our work at the YW, that it's and conversations that I've had with so many Black women entrepreneurs over this last year and a half that we've been kind of created the space, that it's different. It's different for you to start a business than it would be for someone like me, a white person, to start a business, a white woman, even. Even though women, have more challenges, than a man would in this space, but a Black woman has totally different experience than I would. Can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you've experienced and how you've been able to work through them? Because I know that we have a lot of Black women that maybe have an idea like you did, and want to bring it forward to a space, or like you were saying, maybe has a product that they've created for their family, and thought, well, wow, maybe I can do something bigger with it. But it's I want to be able to prepare them for some of what they may deal with, and also some of what they can do. And I also want any of the white women that are out there to really listen and understand, because we have a place to support here. There's something, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what, each of us have our own superpower and way to help, but you have to listen so you can figure out where you can jump in. So please share that. I'd love to.
Well, Helen, what you said just now is really important. Listening and understanding. Because it's so easy to get caught up in our own environment and what we're used to, and what you think and perceive of how things should be, or how easy things can come to you, and not understanding like the plight of us, Black women. Being an entrepreneur is very difficult. And actually, being a full-time entrepreneur is very new for me. I was in the corporate world for 13 plus years and got laid off during the pandemic. People aren't wearing men's suits like that. And because of, and if we're being transparent, because of what I dealt with in my office and in my corporate environment, I really don't want to go back to corporate anymore. So I told myself I was going to make this full-time entrepreneurship work, because this is my safe space, right? This is my happiness. And I say that because I was the only Black woman in my office for a long time. And when you're in a space like that, you're looked at as the Black representative, right? whether it's infatuation with our hair. I actually just did a chapter in a book recently, and it's called Locks Off. And it's about my hair journey and what I experienced in corporate America and how they viewed me, or anytime my hair was different, it had to be a conversation. Kerry, is that your hair today? Or can I touch it? Or, so that's only like a little bit of what I dealt with in the corporate environment. But going back to entrepreneurship, it's difficult because we need help with the knowledge of where resources are, right? Whether it's funding or whether it's just the basic knowledge of how to start a business, what you need to start a business. Vitamin M is still completely 100% self-funded, right? But I have been intentional in plugging myself into organizations and groups and business challenges to help me get that knowledge to continue to grow and further. So it is the knowledge of knowing where these resources are, because where you may know exactly where to go, that's not really that conversation within our community. They're out there, but you have to plug in to know where to go in that aspect. And that is like the biggest, I'd say that's the biggest challenge, is knowing where the resources are that you need and the information to help you, and to help you even be better at what you're doing.
Yes. And, that is a narrative that I've heard over and over again in these conversations with women's entrepreneurs, is that it's access to resources, it's access to capital to keep building and supporting the business. And again, definitely for male startups, which have been historic. Yeah. And, for many women's startups, there are programs out there. But the reality of it is that there have been some programs that have been created, and more coming. Thank goodness, more and more coming each day, that are very focused on, helping support businesses and startups for underrepresented, communities, for marginalized communities, and making sure that we break those barriers, and that you have access to that. We had a great conversation. I'll say great because it was a very honest conversation, which I really appreciated. It wasn't great because of the content of it, but right. Shalisa McNeil, who started a business called Freya, which was around supporting women going through menopause, and wanting to create a product which to help with that, but still look pretty, so that you don't have to feel uncomfortable with trying to cool yourself down when you're going through some hot flashes. Mm-hmm. And her story really stuck with me about she had this great product, she did all this research, she had this great she was ready to go, but she kept hitting the wall every time she was trying to put together the capital to go to that next level. So I again, for those of us that are out there, that have access to resources, that know about programs, that can help create programs, we should really be thinking about putting funds very specifically in this space to be able to help support entrepreneurs like Kerry, like Shalisa, and like so many others, that we've spoken to.
And even I don't know if the right word is mentor, but guidance so there's plethora of grants, right? But sometimes just the application process is so daunting, and the language in it there's been a few grants that I've looked into, and I'm like, okay, some of these terms I don't understand, or like just the paperwork to get through it. I think that's a big help too.
Yes.
It can stray you away. I mean, of course, if you really want it, you're going to dig through and pile on, but you also have a million other things going on while still trying to maintain the business while you're going through it. So
and the reality of it is, a lot of these application processes, there's a recipe to them, right? And so once you know them, they do become easier. So I appreciate you sharing that. And again, it's good for, those of us, white women that are out there and, want to figure out where is our place to help. This is a place, right? I mean, if you know how to do it, teach it to somebody else.
Absolutely.
In a community that does not look like you, that's trying to further their business, because we all succeed together.
Is really,
how it works. So, and I also really appreciate you sharing your experience in, because I'm sure it was difficult, but your experience in corporate America,
Ooh,
because,
yeah.
we are seeing a mass exodus of people wanting to leave those environments because they
Mhm.
really aren't set up and structured to be able to support, lots of different groups. They don't support,
Yeah.
working, mothers well. They don't support women well. They don't support anyone who's a caregiver, whether it's to someone of the older generation or younger generation.
Yeah.
They don't support, any woman of color well. They don't, like they're just not set up. These structures are archaic,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and not set up properly. And it isn't until we continue to stand up and share these kinds of stories that when people get into leadership positions that will listen. And we have to keep pushing people into leadership positions that, again, don't all look like me, to
Mhm.
be able to make those changes. So I appreciate you sharing that as
Yeah, and
well.
it's very so just a quick story if we
Mm,
have
please.
time. So
Yes.
last year, after George Floyd being murdered, there's a lot of corporations that were putting out, anti-racism statements. They stand against racism. And me being with my company for so long, I kind of waited a little bit just to see,
Right.
just to see if they were going to put anything out. And like a week went by, 2 weeks went by, and I'm like, someone that and part of it is my fault. I was silent in a lot of things, especially that happened directly in that office, because you're just conditioned to just
Right.
work and vent when you leave, not even being that voice for yourself, because it was really for myself in that office. But when that happened, I was like, you know what, this is not okay. Like, I can't work for a company,
Mm.
and a company I've been with for so long, to just not, like, how hard is it to say this is wrong? And so I sent an email to the director of HR, and I poured my heart out in this letter, how I felt about them being silent on this situation, how I felt, in the office. And she came back, she called me, and she was like, I totally appreciate you. I could tell you poured your heart out into that letter. But and you're right, we do need to say something. And she said, but what the board looks like, alluding to older white men,
Yeah.
Southern men, because our corporate was in Atlanta. And she said, but if you can you kind of give us, bullet points on what we should say? And I'm like, I can't do the work for you. Like, how hard is it to say, I stand against racism? Like, that's, and you're in HR. I can't give you words, or if you get pushback, then it's on me. That's not my job. I just poured my heart out to you and how I felt. Now the ball is in your court. But I just want to let you know that I notice it. And in our corporate in Atlanta, there's more you have more Black employees. So stand up for us.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah, I can, I think that, again, we are seeing a turn of people wanting to be connected to places that their values are modeled in the institutions that they are connected to. So I can, absolutely understand why it didn't feel like a safe place anymore once you really knew that
mm-hmm,
they were not able to come forward. And I also just want to point out, just because I heard you say it was my fault because I didn't say anything. And I mean, again, I'm saying this out there for our viewers to really think about also, because I've been, and our team here at the YW, a lot of us have been trying to do the work, ourselves to learn. What I know is it's not your fault. You've been
mm-hmm.
conditioned. You said the word right after it. So the fault really was not yours. You
Yeah,
really have been conditioned to not respond because it's not received well, just like what happened, just the
right.
answer that you got.
Yeah.
And so, we need to listen when people share, and admit, yes, we should do better. And I'm going to work on a plan to do that. And
And not be offended.
and
And
not,
I find that a lot.
yeah,
Like, there's an offense to our true feelings, or what we're going through, not even feelings, like
yeah,
what is actually happening. And I always see, like, the pushback, or it's not all white people, or it's not me. And if we can take the offense out of that,
yeah,
or I think we can start to get to a better place to have an honest conversation.
yeah. And that's why I would say, especially to, any of our, white friends watching, that's why you have to educate yourself, because that defensiveness that, that you heard, Kerry, and that comes probably most, by default naturally, is because we're not used to ever being in a situation where we are being questioned, because we are, given that majority space, which, by the way, statistically, we're not the majority, but,
Yeah.
we've just been, put in this space because of supremacy. So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it is something that we need to educate ourselves and work on. So I would say to all of us, if you haven't done our 21-day challenge yet to learn about racial equity and social justice, we'll drop the link here in the comments. So I'm glad you said that, Kerry, because it's a good reminder for those of us that look like me, that there's a lot for us to learn and unlearn, so that we don't get defensive, so that we can really hear, and that we can really figure out how to address these issues that you're raising.
Yes.
So I so appreciate how candid you've been, and I'm so impressed with what you have kicked off, and
Thank you.
4.5 years in. And I hope, if you haven't, I know you said you get involved in a lot of spaces, that you join our program, our Women's Empowerment 360 Business Essential program that's free of charge to any women that are in Black communities, in our AAPI communities, any non-white communities. We want you to join. It's free of charge. It's connected to the Eureka platform at no cost. We have the link here for you to do.
Awesome.
And it's a great community nationally. And actually, I'm so proud to say that you may know Rona Vega from Parent Matters.
Yes.
She actually was part of it, and she was part of the pitch competition and ended up being the winner. We were so proud of her. She was the winner.
Congrats, Rona. Rona's on the move. Rona's filming her show. I see her.
She actually she's on the move right now. She's got a lot of exciting things right in the mix happening as we speak. But we want to see those exciting things happen for all of the amazing entrepreneurs that we've been speaking to on Thursdays at our Share the Mic Now, because you're all doing really creative and inspiring and important work. Again, it's not just about giving people a great face cream. There's so much behind what you're doing that's more than.
And I also want to say this too, very quick. When we say buy Black, right, or support Black-owned businesses, that does not mean that you, white women, cannot purchase our products, right? You guys can use a face cream or a body butter or a book just as much as we can. And I think there is a thing when it's buy Black, there is a pushback on it. But no, it's owned. We are Black-owned businesses, but it's inclusive with our customers. Yeah. Exactly. So that's important to note. But Helen, I really wanted to thank you. Thank you for providing this platform to help amplify our voices. I think this is very important. This helps a lot. Thank you to my Mocha Mom sisters and my Promote Her Network sisters that are on here. But this was beautiful. You've actually motivated me today to just keep pushing. Thank you so much.
Well, you've inspired me as well. The Mochas always inspire me. There is no circle like the Mochas.
I mean, it's a force. I'll tell you what.
All the way back to my friend Sonia and my friend Tanisha from way back when. The circle is something impressive that has been created. And definitely something to be uplifted. Yes. So with that, folks, we hope you join us. I know it's Thursday and you're thinking the week is almost over. We're almost there, but we've got one more great conversation for you this week. I hope you will join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. We will be celebrating right now. We are in Hispanic Heritage Month, which is from September 15th to October 15th. So we're gonna finish off Hispanic Heritage Month with a great conversation with Michael Pagan and Alexandra Acosta, talking about a wonderful grassroots program that they're doing to help uplift Latino businesses in our community and their grassroots efforts. So I'm so excited to talk with them. They are both wonderful community servants, civic leaders in our community, and I'm grateful that they're going to take some time with us tomorrow. Oh, and Sarah Burnell will be joining them as well. So looking forward to sharing this space with them tomorrow at 10 a.m. So please join us. And as always, YWTV is about, inspiring and sharing information, and you're part of that. So take this wonderful broadcast that you just watched, take the little button at the bottom, share it. Think about someone in your life that should hear this conversation, copy and paste the link, stick it to them in Messenger, send it in a text, put it on your Facebook page, email it to somebody, share Kerry's story, because that's how this works. We're all part of doing this together. So try to get out, get some vitamin
It's
M.
gorgeous. It's gorgeous today. Definitely get some vitamin M.
Some vitamin D. Fill yourself up because you deserve it. Again, think about joining. For again, anyone who's interested in learning more about our Women 360 business program, again, free of charge. Just go sign on to the link. We're accepting people into the program, women into the program till October 25th. So please join. We'd love to have you and share that information with anyone in your community. There are pitch programs. There's are opportunities for support for your and resources, and a wonderful national community that you'll be linked to as part of that. And as well, we're also have our gala on November 10th. It is virtual, so wherever you are in the world, you can join us. And the gala funds programs like this. The gala funds opportunities for you to support the great work of the YWCA and our amazing, extraordinary team. I just happen to be the person that gets to talk to you on YWTV. There was a whole lot of people that are working really, really hard in our team that make the magic happen here every day. And you are supporting them being able to do their work. So please join us for our virtual gala. We have the link here to our website. If you can't come, you can still make a donation. You could still bid on an auction item. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And we hope to see you there. So everyone, have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Spend some time with you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye, everyone.